Hi, welcome back. I'm going to do an editing session here on cropping and limb chopping. So first thing I always do, this is Sook, straight out of camera. I'm going to apply my preset and I'm going to go ahead and crop. So I'm going to do the rule of thirds, and I love that, you know I do. So you never want to crop at an ankle, or let's say a joint. So an ankle joint, a knee joint. You don't ever want to crop at the neck or an elbow. So what I'm going to do is I'll either normally go mid shin or I'll go mid thigh. So I'm going to do mid shin here because I want to have this leading line to my client, and so I like that, and I might even scoot it over a hair. Now this pole is on the rule of thirds, which I like, and it's the leading line to my client, so I'm going to leave that there. You could go up mid thigh, but then you're losing some of the railing. I kind of like the bigger picture because I like the field we're in, and I'm going to use that rule of third right here on his eyes too, so that you're directed to looking at his eyes. So this is my starting point. Now I will always check white balance. So here's some gray over here, and you could use the white of his eyes. You'd have to zoom in. I'm at 200%. Take that eyedropper, hit the white part of his eye, get a white balance. To me, that's too cool for my liking, a little bit too pink, but that's okay. It's a starting point. So I'm going to warm it up. I'm going to take some of the pink out. And then what I'm going to do here is use the eyedropper to check his skin tone. I always do that. I'll check a mid-tone area. The bridge of the nose is a nice part. So again, for white Caucasian, this is actually perfect. You want 85, 78, 68. You can see the RGB reading on the target. I like that. It's close enough to 85, 78, 68. So I'm going to leave that there. Sometimes if you want to get closer, you can zoom in, grab that eyedropper, do the bridge of the nose. You'll see the reading's still pretty good. You can go over here to the side of the forehead. The reading's a little bit off here. I might warm it up a shade. And I don't love that reading. So I'm going to probably I'm going to go up a little bit with the warmth and a little bit with the brightness on the exposure. And we're back 85, 76, 62. I like that. So I'll go ahead and finish editing here. I'm going to use my brush, and I'm going to use my sharp eyes that I've created. And you can see here the exposure's up, the highlights up, clarity, sharpness, and I'm just going to brush it on ever so lightly. And then I'm going to grab another brush. I'm going to do his skin. So he has a little bit of acne. So I'm going to use a little bit stronger skin smoothing, and I can always back off. But remember, this is more of a faraway shot, so it'll be a little bit more forgiving. So I like that. I'm going to grab my healing tool, and I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of spot removal here with this acne. I feel like anything that will go away on its own in time, I'm very comfortable with removing from my client's skin. If it is a scar and what I like to say part of their story, I will ask them if they want it removed or left on in their images. I feel like that is very personal and not my decision to make, so I will always clarify with them. So I think this turned out great. I think it needs to be straightened a little bit now that I'm looking at it. So cropping, not at the joints, not at the knee joint, wrist joint, elbow joint. You want it to be mid thigh, mid shin, mid forearm. That's just a great place to start with cropping and limb chopping. Okay, that is it for that one.